evening. Happy Cinco de Mayo. Happy Friday to you. If you don't celebrate, and I don't know why you're not, it's tacos and tequila today.
Cinco de Mayo.
I've had tacos, as you can tell, because I'm a big fat dude. That's what we do. And guess what? I've also got tequila in my cup. We're going to talk about the NFL draft. All the goings-ons, a lot of hullabaloo and buzz and complaining, because that's what we do as a fan base. And we're going to talk about it next.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It is May 5th, Cinco de Mayo. Happy May 5th, everybody.
That's right.
We
Happy
are a
May
day
5th
late.
to you.
Normally, we do our live stream on Thursdays, but my kids had their spring choral event last night. So, needless to say, we were not live. So here we are today, and it's Cinco de Mayo. So,
By the way, Steve, did you know the Cinco
Bring
de
it to
Mayo, contrary to popular belief, is not Mexican Independence Day? That is September the 16th, I think, or something like that.
Correct.
Today is the battle against the French.
Really?
That's what they're celebrating. Yeah, a lot of people think that's, Mexican Independence Day. It is not.
I heard
It's in
somebody say
September.
it today, and I was just like, I'm not even going to bother to correct you because I'm just not in the mood. I'm not going to be that guy. I'll let someone else do it this time.
Right, huh?
I mean, we tend to celebrate it.
I mean, if a white dude wears a sombrero, is that a cultural appropriation? Because I would be mad as hell if like a white dude just dressed up like Chiquita Banana or some shit. That would be like, man, that's kind of insensitive. But if you wear a sombrero, is that racially inappropriate?
I don't know. Have you seen Diary of a Wimpy Kid?
Yes.
when he comes back with his Saraba, what's his friend's name? Rowley.
Yeah. I remember. that.
Yeah. Well, let's introduce our special guest for tonight. We have a couple people in the chat already. Anyways, let's welcome to the show our friend. He's been a huge participant of this show. He rarely misses one. He's one of the OGs, one of the greats. Yam in Japan. We call him Yam Sensei, Yam Starch, whatever you want to call him. This is Yam. Welcome to the show for the first time ever.
I don't know how great I am, but I'm definitely special, if you know what I mean.
Well, happy Cinco de Mayo to you.
Well, it's May 6th here already, but that's all right.
Okay, so you had it yesterday.
Yeah, y'all may the Sith be with you.
That
There
we go.
that's better.
Yeah. Happy Cinco de Mayo. Got a little Modelo. It's in a solo cup because we don't promote drinking on this show on camera. Anyways, let's say hi to a couple people in the chat.
Don't.
We have a Mr. Albert Whaley.
Give me a little history about the fact that the Titanic was carrying 12,000 jars of mayo scheduled to hit Veracruz, Mexico, after it went to New York. It's been the single largest shipment of mayonnaise ever delivered to Mexico. But as we know, the ship did not make it to New York. The ship.
You know what I don't like about Titanic while we're on this? Number one, two people could have definitely fell on that fucking raft. But number two, I hate it. It's the fact that everybody cried at the movie, knowing before they went to the movie, the motherfucker was going to sink. I don't get it. Like, you knew the boat was going to sink when you went to the movie. Why are you crying when the boat sinks? They did the same thing for the Passion of the Christ. Man, you've read the book 1,000 times. You know how it ends, man. You know how it ends.
Yeah,
I
I
don't
didn't
know.
see it in the movie, so I have no frame of reference, by the way.
You've never seen either of
No.
those movies?
In the theaters. I've seen it, of course, I've seen it on television. I
Yeah,
wanted
did
to
you
see
cry when it was on
Titanic.
television?
I
No,
fell asleep.
I was
I'm
a
not
big
gonna lie.
fan of-
I'm not gonna lie.
I mean,
I
I
was
tell
a-
you, Titanic, you know what Saturday Titanic? Guardians of the Galaxy 3 is way sadder
I
than
haven't
fucking
seen it yet.
Titanic.
No spoilers.
I'm not
Yeah,
gonna
no
spoil it.
spoilers. I was a student of the Titanic for years because I was growing up. I just studied it as a kid. I was just fascinated.
Me
by
too, man. Like I did like a whole
fact of-
slideshow projection of it.
The
Yeah,
best part is
and
where he was like hitting the side of the boat on the way down, playing the fucking
yeah,
guitar. And
well, really,
That was amazing.
Dr. Robert Ballard and all his studies along the way with the Titanic was what I was a dork growing up. So that's what I was into as a kid. It's the thinking of the Titanic and all that stuff.
Hey
But
man, you Asian dog. You've been on the bottom of that boat just like my black ass.
hey, I can swim.
I don't know any Asians
I
or black
can
people winning any pool events in the Olympics.
He just said he can swim. Oh,
Yeah.
damn, Dev.
Marcus Edlin's in the chat. Hey, Marcus, we have Marcus on for the 4-hour live stream for the NFL draft last week. What's up, Marcus? What's up, family? Go check out his group Sports View 2. We have Ryan Elias in the group. Said happy Cinco
Happy five,
boys. He's got his 1800 chilled,
There you
and
go.
he was saying the same thing. Dev, Passion of the Christ came out bawling.
Yeah,
like
but you didn't know he was gonna get his ass kicked for 4 hours before you went to the movie. I mean,
I haven't seen it.
You haven't seen Passion of the Christ. Did you celebrate Easter growing up? You know what I'm saying? I mean, that was it.
Yes.
It's the exact same story that you learned as a kid, man. Judas snitches on him. They whoop his ass. He dies. The end. Comes back 3 days later. That's how it works.
Really?
Part two is man.
Oh, so let's talk to you.
Yes, someone's joining me in hell.
Yeah.
Toasty.
What is your fan story? Tell us how you became a fan of the Washington Redskins football team, Commanders, whatever you want to call it. How did you become a fan of this team that we talk so much about?
I got to preface this with a little bit that I have like a really strange memory. So I can remember some things from when I was like really young to like the most minute detail. But then I also can't remember certain people's names or what I ate 2 days ago. So
that's fair.
It's called marijuana,
anyway, so I was quite literally born into it. So probably my earliest memory of being born into the fandom is actually Super Bowl 17. So me and my mom actually lived across the street from my grandmother, and like I was being raised by a single mom, all that stuff. We didn't have cable at the time, and my grandmother was like one of the first people around that actually had cable. And I remember my mom grabbing me up like real quick. And I still remember, like I said, I remember weird details. I remember being my little like baby blue, light blue onesie with the little like plastic rubber feet on the bottom, and her lifting me up and carrying me across the street. So I was like, 4 years old and sitting in the floor in my grandmother's living room playing and watching the game off and on with them. And I just remember my grandmother and my mom being so happy and everything, for instance, because like my grandfather passed away 6 months before I was born, and he was a big, Redskins, Washington football team fan and everything. So they were super happy, that, we finally got a Super Bowl win and all that kind of stuff. But then like the very next year when I was, 5 and going to kindergarten and all that stuff, my mom actually bought me like, Redskins, like shirts and clothes and all that kind of stuff. And then like my bedroom was actually Redskins. And some of my earliest pictures from being like a baby and a toddler are in like Redskins onesies and like handmade bib overalls and everything. But then, of course, I grew up getting into it, as the older I got, the more I watched. And, of course, I was there through the, 2 other Super Bowls. And I still remember we used to have a local Coke plant near my house that I'm pretty sure it was the Super Bowl against Denver, where they had like a special halftime show. It was in 3D and you could get 3D glasses, but you had to go to a Coke plant to get them. And I still remember going with my mom to the Coke plant to get our glasses and just waiting to see this cool 3D stuff and everything. And I still remember watching that game, and like that was really the moment that sold me into it. Like you said, I had watched it up to that point, but like that was the game that got me into the fandom, and I've just been hooked ever since.
That's awesome. We love the origin stories are always the best. Everyone has different. Even when we bring people on from different teams, we love to hear how they became a fan of their own, because it gives you a basis, like your foundation for a lot of things. Some people, hey, they were born into it. Some people love the colors. Some people, who knows? But love the story. Thank you for sharing that. Let's say hi to a couple more people. Terrence, thank you for joining us. And what up, family? Terrence, Mean Green, our probably single Eagles friend who we've had on the show many times, who jumps in and out. Yeah, Socrates philosophies and hypotheses. That's right. He picked up on my little label. He says, Feliz Cinco de Mayo. Yes, it is Cinco de Mayo, everyone. That will never
That was
get
racist.
old.
That was racist.
What? That's not.
That was racist.
That's just
I feel dirty right there. I feel a little bit racist.
Right.
Like on Juneteenth, y'all gonna play like old Negro spirituals and shit?
No, I'll play whatever you want, though. I'll play your music.
We're gonna play Swing Low, Swing Cherry Up.
Ryan says, if I wore blue on Sunday, my dad will whoop my ass. I mean, Ryan's wife is a Cowboys fan. I mean, hey,
talk about having daddy issues. You went and married a Cowboys fan.
No judging here. Man. No judging here. So, gentlemen, let's talk about the draft. I'd like to hear your thoughts on how we did overall, and let's just go down the line. And if you want to, you can bring up other people's drafts as well. That's fair. But for now, I'm going to talk about how the Commanders did on their draft.
The Manders.
Overall, just starting out, what are your thoughts and feelings initially, Yam, for the draft? Now that it's over, said and done, how do you feel?
Well, y'all know that, I was in the chat, while it was going on and all that kind of stuff. So like, I guess we'll save the rating part to the end, but I still, have mixed overall feelings on it. It's like, yeah, we definitely got positions like that needed addressed. I just think they were kind of done in my personal opinion, the wrong order. Like my initial impression was like, okay, I get it, but why? That was like every pick was like, why him here now?
Yeah,
that was my initial impression of it.
Fair. What about you, Phil?
There was a lot of, I didn't see that coming, especially early on. Not that I have a problem with many of the picks that gave me that reaction. My mind was thinking elsewhere. Now, I always throw the caveat. I don't have all the scouting reports and intel that everyone in the organization, the scouts and the coaches have. So that's why, for instance, when we saw Christian Gonzalez drop out the top 10, we're all like frothing at the mouth, like, get him, pick him, right? And they didn't. But that's because we just didn't see Gonzalez falling that far. But there's obviously a reason why.
Right.
Same with Deonte Banks. Well, Deonte Banks went about where he should have. Joey Porter Jr. fell.
Yeah.
So I don't think a lot of people want to say that Forbes is a reach, all this other stuff. You want to talk first round pick. I don't think so at all. I think it's a fine pick. We'll talk about that more later. I think they made some unique picks. Some of the guys, they addressed a lot of positions need to be addressed. I will say it's like when I was doing mock drafts, for instance, I had saved safety for like third, fourth round. I was looking at safety then. I did not look in the second, but if you look at what they did, they're looking for speed and ball hawking. They want people who force turnovers. A lot of this is you want a defense that can swarm to the ball, force turnovers, and give your offense, which does have a very young quarterback under center, better opportunities to take advantage. And I think that is turnovers is one thing we've kind of lacked at. We had a top 5, top 10 defense, however you want to look at it. 7th in points allowed, 3rd in yards allowed. So we're really good at holding teams, but not. But then they're punting, and then you're starting back in your own territory. You want more turnovers, and I think you saw a lot of that with these first 2 picks for sure.
Yeah,
and then they started shoring up things on the other side too.
Yeah, Dev, how was your overall ideal of the draft?
But
Let's just recap.
As a total or just round one?
No, in total, and just recap. Remember, 2 years ago when you did John Dotson, you gave it an F immediately.
Yeah, man. We don't need to see that video again. But definitely, I'm a dumbass. So don't listen to me, guys.
Hey, it's all good. That's
what I wanted a corner first, so I can't be mad at the position. But like you guys said, I went into it thinking, hey man, maybe Porter Jr. will be available. And that was my pick. So I did want corner. It does feel weird now that Gonzalez slid down the draft to not pick him because he could come back and bite us. You remember the receiver Philly picked right before Jefferson went to Minnesota?
I don't.
Yeah, I know you don't. But there was one that got picked. The Eagles picked him. They ended up trading him this year. Didn't even play. He got picked 2 picks before Jefferson in the draft. That wide receiver, man. I can't think of his name. The guy that the Eagles drafted. He was
Terrence, you got to tell us, man. I don't know who he's talking about. I can't think of his
name either. But anyways, that guy. They drafted that guy before Jefferson, and I hope this isn't what happens to us. We draft Forbes, and then Gonzalez ends up being that man. That's what you hope doesn't happen, or Porter Jr. for that matter.
Right.
But I think that it's going to be a high risk, higher reward situation if it works. I think his ceiling, as far because his length, his speed, and athleticism is off the charts. So if that guy puts it all together, he could be the best defensive back picked in the draft. In fact, I think Ramsey and a couple of other defensive backs said exactly those words, that this guy's the best defensive back in the draft. Hey, I hope they're right.
I hope so too. And I'm kind of I'm
I
kind
agree
of
with the
in
A
line
grade,
with you
by
guys. It was very, I was taken back that we took Forbes first. I did want a cornerback or offensive tackle. I'm like, you can't go wrong with either. It would be cool. And I didn't really watch Forbes because I didn't think that he was going to land it with us. I just really didn't, but he did. And now that I've had time to digest it, I'm cool with it. The man can play. I've seen, looking at other great cornerbacks of the past measurables, he's just right there with like Darrell Green, and Fred Smoot was like just around his same height and weight when he came in. So he's a ball hawk. I hope he does us well. I mean, but overall, I did wish we would have did a little more on offense. We just went about it a little bit later, but we'll talk about that here in a second. Terrence said, Forbes versus Smith is going to be awesome twice a year. Forbes says he wants his revenge against Devontae. Mississippi State, Alabama, I'm guessing, did they tee off a couple times that we know of?
Oh, of course.
Dev,
yeah.
I guess you were talking about Jalen Reagor.
I said Jalen Reagor. I was looking it up. Yeah, they drafted him like a spot or 2 right before Jefferson. And I remember everybody being pissed that was an Eagle fan. They was like, oh my God, Jefferson was from Ohio State, was standing right there, man. You didn't get him.
LSU.
Yeah.
Well, let's just go down our picks right now. So we'll start with you. How do you feel about Forbes at 1?
Well, when the pick first came, the only reason I even knew anything about him was because of Fred Smoot hyping him up and all that type of stuff. So when we took him, I was like, yeah, this definitely feels like a Washington kind of pick, if you know what that means. I wasn't thrilled, but, that's also, like I said, I don't actually, get to watch a whole lot of college ball in general. And when I do, it's usually Big Ten stuff. But, after the fact, watching tape on him and all that type of stuff, I like the kid. I like the pick overall. I've seen like some people like complaining about how, he has all these interceptions, but like half of them are coming off of like deflections and stuff like that. But to me, that just says ball awareness, situation awareness. So I definitely think as far as, him getting those picks that we need and the turnovers that we've been so low on, it's a great pick overall. I wasn't happy at the moment, but I'm happy with it now.
Cool. Yeah, that's fair. All right. Phil or Dev, what's your overall thoughts on Forbes?
This is one of those. Go ahead, Dev.
I've already said it. I think I think I give it an A. I agree with the grade. I wanted to go DB. I would. I'm gonna trust him because I didn't the first couple times and they burned me. I got burnt. This team drafted McLaurin. I felt like that. I felt they shouldn't have re-signed him to that much of a deal. I kind of am wrong on that too. You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna trust these guys. Know what they're doing. Hey man, if Forbes is the guy, we did need a defensive back. My prediction is Fuller's going to be next in line to be cut.
100% agree.
I don't think so. I think
restructure.
I think Fuller will still be here at least this year.
$8 million, give or take.
They cut another guy who had more money on the table than Fuller today. Really, got cut. So he had $4 million in savings, but they still owe him more than if
they owed him $4 million.
Right. I think they can get rid of Fuller cheaper than that.
Yeah.
And save 8.
Yeah. Well, let's go on to pick number 2 because
I didn't get my thoughts on Forbes.
Go ahead, Phil. Go ahead.
I was going to say neither one of you guys.
Damn, Steve. I know we go long, but calm down.
My bad.
That's what she said.
Yes.
Too much.
Pause.
Forbes. This is one of those. I can't say I love it because that's not who I would have picked. But that's only because I'm still, I focus so hard on Porter Jr. and Banks that I didn't do as much looking into Forbes. I just didn't think he was going to be the pick.
Yeah.
But really like the pick, knowing what I know of Forbes and having gone back and looked afterwards, I'm like, oh yeah, this guy fits. He can cover. He's a guy who likes to go one-on-one with receivers. He loves the challenge. He's fast, and I'm not worried so much about his frame. He'll put on a solid 10 pounds, I'm sure, in the offseason, 15. That's why they have it, it's 166. They have him listed here at 180 because I think that's the anticipation. He'll get up there.
Yeah.
And I like the fact that he's a chirper. He gets out there and talks. You kind of want corners with swag. He's got buckets of it, because he's going to go out there and he's going to make it his mission to take down the opposing receiver and shut them out. I like that. So that to me, and I've watched enough tape now to see I'm not worried about him coming up on the edge tackle or running back. He'll throw everything at him. He does not care.
Terrence says his speed is freak speed. He ran a 4.35.
4.35, and he does the Darryl Green thing. He does not care that he's the smallest guy on the field, weight-wise. He will throw his body into you.
And one of the cool things that about Forbes, and we talk about this a lot on here, is he almost plays at a 4.3 speed on the field. Now, you get a lot of times people run these crazy 40 times, but that's not their game speed. He's up there.
His game speed is
by the way,
speed.
Smoot was the same size, basically.
He was. Yeah, for sure. For sure. Man.
Well, I think Forbes, just so you all know, I think Forbes can easily be better than Smoot.
I hope so.
Smoot was very good, but he never got to elite.
Right.
But
I say Smoot will probably tell you that too.
Yeah. Our second round pick, safety Jartavius Martin at 47. I'm hearing a lot of good things about this guy. I didn't also not on my radar whatsoever. I didn't think we were going to get a safety with Cam Curl, Forrest, on the up and up. I just didn't think we had Jeremy Reeves back there, all pro Revo. I just didn't think we were going to go after a safety, but they picked up this guy and looks like he can kind of play in the box a little bit. They can move him around. They can have all three of those guys on the field. So, yeah, and we'll come back to you. How do you feel about Jartavius Martin, safety from Illinois, 6'0", 195?
So no, I'm going to sound, again, like a bit of a fence walker here. So this is one of the few players that I obviously, did, know some of and had seen play. I think overall it's a great pickup. But my whole thing was like all you've heard in this, off season leading up to the draft so far was, we got to fix the O-line. We got to get the offense, better prepared for Sam Howell. We got to do things right by him. And then our first 2 picks, we go with defensive backs. And personally, I was thinking, I was like, okay, they're either going to go offensive line in the first and then cornerback or something in the second, or vice versa. So I was like, okay, since they got their cornerback in the first, now we're going to go get like, a top tier offensive line guy. And like when it didn't happen, I was like, what? I was like, yay, I like Quan, but boo, where's the offensive line help that we need? Because I'm sorry, but our free agent pickups, they're not going to cut it. If you look at our O-line right now, it's very samey overall to what it was the previous year.
Yeah.
So that was my grade. But that's, again, nothing, again, it's not Quan's fault or anything like that. So I'm actually surprised, like seeing, on CBS only giving a B+ for this, because the kid's a player and he's a freak athlete. You keep hearing other people say that too. I think it's, just going to help make our defense that much better, because it's been one of the things that I've complained about now for 3 years, is that Jack Del Rio's defense always seems to manage to get burned in the passing game, either with short passes that turn into long passes or bombs that just clear. You know what I mean? It's been very suspect of that. And I put a lot of that on the coaching scheme. So I'm hoping getting these ball hawk type players and good coverage players that is going to help fix some of that. So overall, again, an afterthought, I would like the pick. I still would have liked an offensive line guy here better.
Hey, Jack Del Rio approached the draft like I approached, when I was single, dating game, man. I look for an athletic backside. You know what I'm saying? I want my back end to be athletic when I go looking for defense. You know what I'm saying? But definitely, this is one of the reasons why I think Fuller's getting cut, because this guy also plays slot defensively. He defends the slot in college. That's what he did basically exclusively, is play the slot. And that's in a Buffalo nickel, he's basically a starter. So I'm saying, if you have the first round pick as a corner, if you playing outside, where does Fuller play?
There's not a lot of room left for him.
Right. And you can save $8 million. That's my point. It's not that Fuller can't play. But I think the reason you get rid of Fuller is so, and you also we're forgetting, you also have another young safety that thrived in it as a deep third safety. What's his face we drafted?
Forrest.
Not him.
Percy Butler.
Percy Butler.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Forrest is more strong.
Yeah.
But you still have a curl up close too, playing like mostly a linebacker in a nickel defense.
Yam said something that it was kind of my philosophy too, and I think I said it on Twitter. If it didn't help Sam Howell, I didn't want it. I wanted it in the second. I wanted it in the first and second to help Sam Howell. That was just my initial stab at it, and it didn't. But the argument you could say, if you like the defense, a good defense helps a good offense. So
another draft pick that could also get him fired, because if for some reason Levis balls out in Tennessee, man, and you have a horrible quarterback, I'm just saying.
Yeah, I'm not worried about that.
I'm not either.
Will Levis is the Bo Callahan of this draft.
Bo Callahan. Nobody went to his birthday party. Nobody showed up.
It
at
was
his birthday
funny.
party,
He had
man.
the girls on his shoulder. He was loving and laughing and having a good time, and just kept slipping and slipping and slipping. And Tennessee made it happen. All right. Any other closing comments on Jartavius Martin? Phil?
I got some.
Yeah.
So I like that this gives you somebody that you can rotate on the high safeties. You can run single eye. You can run you run 2 deep zone with him back there, or you can run single high with Forrest or Butler. You can put him up on the slot. There's many different ways that you can use him, and I think that this goes back to what's one of Ron's favorite things: position flex. So you're going to see
we got safeties that can guard corners.
Safeties that can play corners that can play safety. I'm cool with it, because you can give defenses so many different looks.
Yep. They also can guard tight end.
And again, with 3 quarterbacks in our division who can run, having speed at the second level like that, and in the defensive backfield helps a lot. They take off, you can catch them.
Yeah.
So they're gonna come up and make plays. So I like that as well. So I had Steve Avila pegged here. Like every mock draft I did.
I think you said it.
was picked
three, four,
He went-
5 times easily.
But I'm
Yeah.
also going to take it this. He's got picked in the second round, so he's probably the worst player we drafted.
Let's not say who was our second round pick last year.
Dude, that got hurt.
Darius Martin.
Yeah, got hurt.
Fidarian Mathis.
Okay,
Or
we don't
Mathis.
know.
I'll bring him up a little bit later.
Yeah,
Phil
we don't
Mathis,
know.
who is, by the way, he was looking good until he got hurt.
Hey man, that's the story of my life. You know,
Yeah, almost maybe could have
yeah,
been.
oh yeah, would have, could
Hey,
have.
hey,
If
he'll
it
be
does-
back this year. He's going to be part of that rotation on the second string at defensive tackle, along with Ridgeway.
We got to back
Good.
up. We got to back up in the second round, basically. That's what you're saying to me. That's what I
Let's
hear.
Well,
Welcome,
he was the plan in case old Deron Payne did not ball out.
Well, who's
You
the
had
plan?
that.
Who's the plan when Sweat and Young all both leave and Curl?
We'll address that next year when we trade one of them at the deadline for draft
Yes,
capital.
Who have we ever traded at the deadline?
Nobody.
Right.
Yet.
He's going to walk and get a third round compensatory pick.
Welcome, Jason Donaway from Facebook says O-line needs help. Look at Dallas, Eagles, Giants, pass rush. So at the end of this, I want to really quickly flash what the rest of the NFC East did and see if we think we're on par. Because we know, I think the Eagles had a great draft. Giants, Cowboys,
I
Cowboys
think our
have
draft was second best.
Eagles killed it.
the Eagles crushed it.
I think we had the second best draft.
I am not excited about seeing Luke Schoonmaker, however you say his name, on the Cowboys twice.
Hey, I'm glad. I'd rather see Swift than Henry. Did Henry ever go to Eagles?
No,
or
it's not. None of that's confirmed.
No, that
Good.
didn't happen.
Yeah, I'd
Especially
rather see.
since
I'm not
Swift
scared of Swift, man.
Yeah. Yeah.
Miles
Terrence
Sanders is
says,
better than him.
hybrid DBs are a thing now. Yep. Position flex.
So
Flex.
Sam,
All
man,
right.
you got a defensive backfield that can guard a tight end, a running back, or a slot, or an outside receiver.
Yeah.
All in a mix of 2 or 3 guys. So when they run guys in motion and try to confuse your defense, there's no matchup disabilities for us. That's actually an excellent pick if it works out. It just won't because he's a second round pick. That motherfucker's gonna be sorry. I hope not, but he's probably gonna be sorry. Just letting y'all know because y'all can't name a second round pick that's not sorry in like 15 years.
I mean, I
So
think
it's
that's
like-
really
it's
old
like-
regime stuff.
It's like Preston Smith, and he don't even count because he wasn't good for us. It's good for Green Bay. Like that's the only one. That's the last one that was even kind of good.
Wasn't Sam Cosmi a second round
He's
pick?
terrible, bro. You picked a tackle. He's a guard who can't even play guard.
He played.
Y'all gonna make me- I
he
sound like
played
Soldier
fine at
Boy when I
tackle.
talk about Cosby, man.
I'm not about to have this argument again, but when he's there, he's fine. His problem is staying healthy, but when he plays, he's good.
Man, he's
Oh,
not
in
good.
Ron's first year, we did not have a second round pick. We went from Chase Young to Antonio Gibson. And then the year prior was Jay's last year. We didn't have a second round pick. Year before that, Darius Geis. Year before that, Ryan Anderson. Year before that, Sua Cravens. Year before that, Preston Smith.
The defense rests, Your Honor.
Year before that, Trent Murphy. Year before that, David Emerson. Year before that, the Robert Griffin year, we didn't have a second round pick. Year before that, Jarvis Jenkins, who was really great at Clemson. Year before that, we didn't have a pick.
Jarvis Jenkins is one of the most disappointing picks.
Oh, I know.
I thought he was going to be good.
Everyone he's named has been disappointing, bro.
Yeah, he was supposed to be so good.
Trent was okay for the Bills.
Yeah, and he tore his ACL, and then he got paid on the Bills, and then what's his name, Jeremy Junior Gillette was like, "Why is he getting paid?" And I couldn't.
Hey,
All
Junior
right.
was my dude, man. Blocked me on Facebook one time, I guess.
Ryan said, "Scratching my head with losing Chase Roulier. Was he do much?" We'll talk about that in a minute here, Ryan. At the end, we got the stats on that. Let's go to our third round pick, Ricky Stromberg, B-. The CBS describes him as a masher who's athletic and can grow roots in pass pro. Run blocking is solid, but balance is a major concern. Has starter upside if he gets stronger. Phil, let's go to you first as our resident O lineman. Then we'll go back to Yam. I'm hearing a lot of good things about Ricky Stromberg after the draft.
And think about Chase Roulier released today.
That he's going to be our starting center. So
It's going to be him or the guy whose name is escaping
Gates.
me from the Giants.
Yeah, I think it'll be Gates at first.
But
It's gonna be Gates.
know because here's the thing: both of these guys can play guard. So the key is with this is that do you put him at center? Or do you put him at guard?
Well, you
And
got
if
that.
you
What's the name? What's the name to play other guard, right? From
Both of them
Kansas
can play
City?
guard.
From Kansas City.
He can play guard too, but they got him
Wiley.
penciled in at
Andrew
tackle.
Wiley.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and then you constantly play the other guard.
But again, you want to have that kind of flexibility is great because offensive line injuries have ravaged us at bad times. So you want to be able to slide guys around without messing up the chemistry too much. So this helps when you have guys who can play multiple positions. Jason Donaway says he's the fourth center. He's not the fourth center. He's not going to be behind Tyler Larson. All right. He's competing for a starting spot at center or guard. It or not.
He'll probably be the backup flex dude for both of those.
He could be. But you know what? You need that because guess what? One of those guys go down. You need somebody.
You know Cosby going down. You know Cosby's going down. He is going down, man. You know that's happening, bro.
So it will likely be
in the air there.
I feel like we need to do Cosby like Soldier Boy. Cosby.
It'll be
Cosby.
He's only played what, 1 year?
2
years. It'll be Leno.
He's only played like 10 games.
You know what? He was 1/10 of a rating point away from being our highest rated lineman last year.
Yeah, Cosby. Right below under Charles Leno.
Cosby.
Yeah. It will be Leno, Sadiq, Gates.
Sadiq ain't starting. You better throw that.
I think he might start at guard. I have a feeling he's going to start at guard.
No, he's not. He's going to start on his own. Maybe.
Sadiq Charles, Mr. I tear my ACL third play ever.
He's still
under contract. This is his last year under contract.
And then it'll be Cosme and Wiley on the right. Yeah.
No way.
How do you think about Ricky Strong? Let's speed these up. We still got a bunch more to go.
Again, very, very mixed on this. On the one hand, I was like, finally getting an offensive lineman. Everything that I've heard about the kid says potential. But, potential and being like automatic or definite are two completely different things. There's been several other like podcasts and, people on Twitter and shows I've watched and listened to that have said that he's probably not even going to be a starter. He's going to be a rotational piece, even if he's playing in other positions, which I'm like, why are you going to use a 3rd round pick if he's not going to be a starter somewhere? The other thing is that one of the videos that I watched where people were talking about like just his overall play is that this was going to bring up Fedarian Mathis, is that they were saying that he was played really well being at Arkansas, being in the SEC, but he when he played against not just Alabama but Fedarian Mathis, that he had a tendency to basically just get smoked by them. Ooh. So, but they are saying
that's that strength thing. He just needs to get stronger. Because Mathis is a bull rusher. That's what he does. He just comes straight at you. No, so like said, no nothing.
It's easy for me to like complain about saying potential, but I'm also going to agree with that. I see the potential in the guy. I'm just not sold on him. I'm just glad that we finally got an offensive lineman. That was my take on it at this point.
All right, that's cool. I respect that. Good.
Who was available at that 3rd pick for us before we picked him? Because there was another lineman I think I wanted.
Well, he was only the 3rd center taken in the draft. As far as like other linemen, let's see, who was taken here
in round 3.
Period. Like before him. I mean, after him, I guess.
Tyler Steen went at 65. Wanya Morris went at 92.
Yeah. Sidney Brown.
The pick after us in round 2 at pick 48 was Cody Mock, who like I would have loved to have gotten
Cody Mock too.
Like when I saw us take another defensive back, then I saw Cody Mock go. I was like, F word.
I wonder if we were going to take probably the safety out of Alabama, but he just got picked before. Instead of Jartavius?
No, I think that was a target. I think he was a target. He fits too well.
Yeah. All right, fourth round pick, Braden Daniels. CBS Sports gives us a C+, offensive tackle out of Utah, 6'4", 297. Dev, let's start with you. How did you feel about going another 2 in a row lineman? This guy's a tackle.
I think I wanted I actually wanted them to grab, like, was there a quarterback that was available or some shit? I can't remember who was there. Yeah, there's somebody I wanted in that 4th round that wasn't Braden Daniels. But I do like Braden Daniels. I think maybe 4 is too high for him. We had to get him in the 5th round. I wouldn't be as disappointed. But it seems like he's basically just going to be a backup. Like, I feel like that's going to be his job, is to be a backup, where I think there may have been another guy that could have competed to start for us in this draft at 4.
he can compete.
Yeah,
He,
but
is.
He's a little light.
we are
Right.
stacked. We are
That
stacked.
is my
We are
one
stacked as
complaint.
project linemen.
I don't see him as a project because a lot of these guys, it's just they need to get. You just need to hit the weight room harder. You get them on a strength program.
Whenever you read a player's synopsis and it says could play an or in the first sentence, you know what I'm saying? Like that's like a dead giveaway that you probably reached for the guy because you could have got a guy who does play tackle. Like that's what I don't almost get about.
Here's a question for you guys.
If you notice, Kansas City, they love their athletic linemen. They love the guys who can play multiple positions. Kansas City did a lot of that.
Well, at what round? At some point, to me, it's rounds 1 through 3. I need a guy, and I think Dev said this live during the draft. Rounds 1 through 3. If I draft you, I want to draft you for the position you play, and I want you to play the damn position. I don't want to draft you at this position and you end up being at that position. Because to me, that's a wasted pick and wasted, I probably could have got you later at that position. You know what I mean? Like if I draft you as a tackle, play damn tackle. I don't want you as a guard. I know sometimes it happens, but fourth and beyond, I think it's okay.
I mean, I love listening to our fan base gobble on Brandon Sheriff like he's, just the second coming of Jesus, but he was drafted as a tackle. They moved him to guard.
He was. I think that's the exception, not the rule. A right tackle for that matter. The only people who do that are the Cowboys, and they do it very well.
Man, the fact I remember we drafted a right tackle in the first round. We was all mad at that anyways. It was like, damn, why would you draft him so high? You could trade it down.
Oh, he was so good out in space, though.
Yeah.
And Sheriff, oh my gosh.
Short arms.
The problem is that he wasn't good in traffic, though.
Yeah.
He wasn't. I always used to question how it's like. I was like, are the guards in the NFL that bad that he's an All-Pro? Because I never understood. Because I always was like, I feel like he could have done much better.
Yeah, he was really athletic. When he was healthy, he was just good.
But it's funny because that's his profile reads. If you want to go back and look, Brandon Sheriff's profile reads like Brandon Daniels.
Yeah,
because Brandon Sheriff was very athletic. He had to hit the weight room, and he did. But then a guy like Cosme comes in and can rep double on the deadlift as to what Sheriff did as a vet.
I think KJ Henry would be a swing tackle, but it just makes me wonder who do we have at tackle?
KJ Henry, an edge player.
I'm stupid. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
I was on the last guy.
This guy's a backup. He's going to be a backup to one of the edge guys. But yeah, and we'll start with you. How do you feel about KJ Henry?
KJ Henry.
I didn't get to talk about Braden.
Shit. That's why I thought we were still talking about Braden. I thought, hey man, the devil's lettuce will get you every time, bro.
So this is another one of those picks. When it came up, I was like, who? But at the same time, I was also happy. Another, offensive lineman. So it was one of those guys that I looked up, after the draft was over, watched, some YouTube videos on some interviews. Super nice dude, ridiculously nice guy. Unfortunately, nice doesn't always cut it in the NFL. Yeah. But everything that I'm seeing about him, again, he's being taken as another developmental pick. I don't even know what all schools Utah plays throughout the season, but I will say at least he was a fifth-year senior from what I remember. And in his last 2 years playing for Utah, he played in something that was 23 or I think it was 23 total. No, sorry, 27 total games, and he allowed 23 quarterback hurries and only 2 QB hits. So that's pretty darn good out of 27 games. So potential is there. Again, it's one of those things where his size, his arms, things like that, you're going to need to work on. He's going to have to be coached up. But again, I think it's overall a good pick for a positional player. But I'm in the boat. I think that your first 4 rounds are guys that are should be plug and play. Guys are going to be out there a majority of the time. So I'm kind of hesitant on that. But I see a lot of, I hate to use the word again, but potential and promise in this kid. So I do like this pick overall.
Yeah, it's one of those guys that if you get it right, you get it right.
Yeah.
Right. So this guy, he's one of those guys that can definitely go either way.
Yeah, fair. Ryan Elias says, okay, guys, Time for a shot. 3, 2, 1, break. It is Cinco de Mayo.
Hey,
Yes. Thank you, Ryan, for the prompt. All right. Now, let us move on to
ain't marijuana
KJ Henry.
Spanish?
What?
Is the word marijuana in Spanish?
Yeah, you bet your ass. it is.
Marijuana.
Marijuana.
Yeah. Haven't you seen Blow? The movie Blow?
I have.
Oh, great movie.
Excellent movie.
When they go down there.
I still hate Penelope Cruz because of that too. I still read things like Penelope Cruz plays for Princess in Frost. I'm like, fuck that bitch. No, I get so mad. I'm like,
sometimes actors play their roles so well you hate them in real life.
Yeah. Who else does it? Like Ike Turner, like Lawrence Fishburne. He's Ike Turner. I don't give a shit what movie he's in. It's like, dude. I think my kids think Malcolm X looks like, you know what I'm saying, Denzel Washington too, by the way. I mean, that's what,
you see the Diane Lane, the movie where she cheats called Unfaithful?
Oh yeah.
I hate Diane Lane because of that movie, but she's a great actress, by the way. You know, some actors play it so well.
Excellent actress.
Yeah. All right, let's go on to KJ Henry coming out of Clemson.
She was a whore
in that movie. She played the role so well, though. I'm a big Diane Lane fan.
I think Stifler's like that, man. Like anything I see him in, that's Stifler. Like
he's always the same. Yeah, Ryan Reynolds is always Ryan Reynolds too. So Diane Lane was Superman's mom in one of the movies, I think, too. One of the later Superman movies.
Oh, Man of Steel, yeah.
Yeah, Henry Cavill.
My opinion, the best one. He gets a lot of hate.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
My favorite one.
Pretty good. Oh, on the warpath, Corey Sanchez, the Sanchez, popping in. Say konnichiwa, mother brothers.
Ohio.
Hey, Corey, thank you for tuning in, man. We appreciate you. Let's talk some KJ Henry real quick. So the edge out of Clemson. For those who don't know, his dad, lifelong Redskins / Commanders fan. I don't know if you guys knew that. Did you guys see the video, his draft phone call video? Did you guys get to see it? Did you get to see it, Yam?
Yeah.
Yeah, cool that his dad is a lifelong fan. So I thought that was pretty cool. Phil, we'll start with you. How do you feel about KJ Henry?
Interesting pick. Not where I would have gone, but at this point, you've got a couple linemen, you got a couple defensive backs. Nobody really appetizing this late at inside linebacker. So, you may or may not need to develop an edge rusher, after this season. Shaka Tony's gone for the year, so you're lacking a little bit in depth. Why not? I'm fine with it.
What's up, Tony? Thank you for joining us, Tony Shevers from Facebook. Fellas.
I wonder at 6'4", 255 if he can stand up a little bit. Can he play strong?
I don't know. He might be able to.
I mean, it's
like in a goal line situation.
But look at that last number. Will be 25 as a rookie.
Right, man.
He's not one of those guys. Ron likes his 3 and 4 year, 5 year guys. He likes people. He likes captains.
Like I said, Braden was a 5 year.
Yeah, you understand. Ron likes dudes who were leaders.
Yeah,
sure.
And I think that eventually plays itself out very well. I mean, it leads to less sexy picks, but it does lead to guys who can motivate each other and guys who generally fall in line because they understand the role that they're brought in for. Yeah. There isn't that hubris with a lot of guys like that.
Corey, Tony, thank you for joining us. It is Cinco de Mayo. We're just gonna keep playing that for the rest of the show. Yeah, give us your KJ Henry take.
Honestly, I really like this pick just for some of the reasons that were already brought up. One, with obviously Shaka Tony being gone now. Two, we really don't know the health status of Chase Young.
Yep.
I mean, what happens if he, re-injures himself? Something else happens. Again, I feel like this is a depth / developmental pick, but I think he's a solid dude. I think he's just one of those guys that is going to be one of those plug and play guys. It's kind of weird that we get one of those type guys in the 5th round, but I think he's one of those guys that if something does happen or they need a special play, they need that extra guy on the field, he's going to be their go-to guy for that.
My problem with it is on that same note, Yam, but is Casey Toohill and Williams and all those guys gone? Like, are they still there?
I think Tuhill's still there.
And so is Williams, right? James Smith Williams, whatever.
I thought Williams was. I thought
No,
Williams was still.
We're talking edge rushers, right?
Yeah, I'm talking about our guys. They're still. I thought they were still on the team.
So on the
Last time I
roster,
checked,
at least on
right?
the website, it's got William Bradley King, KJ
Right.
Henry,
I
Andre
think William
Jones
Bradley
Jr.,
King's gone after this season.
Shaka
F.A.
Tony's gone.
Obata, James Smith Williams, Montez Sweat, Casey Tuhill, and Chase Young.
Yeah, so Obata, Chase,
Obata's
Sweat,
staying, dude. That guy's
Sweat,
gonna make
Williams,
the team.
all those guys are still there. That's why I was wondering, like, if you're gonna pick a guy who is a 6'4", 255 edge rusher, obviously at 255 you can't be full time,
Yeah.
right? So
Yeah, you
wondering,
can.
like,
At this day and age, you absolutely can.
I guess, but either way,
Chase
like
is 260.
he's like the sixth defensive end in my book. I think he probably is a practice squad guy, man. In my opinion.
I hope not.
I really think though that they're gonna try to go with a bit more like of a rotational set for their defense, even more so than they did last year.
But a numbers game, do you keep 6 defensive ends?
Well, if we go back, that's a good point, Dave. If you just look at who Chase Young, Tuhill, Sweat, Smith Williams, F.A. Obata, Andre Jones is probably a camp body or a practice squad guy. William Bradley King, I don't know.
William Bradley King hasn't done anything.
No, so let's count him as a practice squad guy. And then so now that leaves KJ Henry, F.A. Obata, James Smith Williams, Montez Sweat, Casey Tuhill, and Chase Young. One of those people.
Yeah, that's too many.
Yeah, it is too many.
Considering you're already going to keep at least 4 defensive tackles.
And then would they keep
4.
They won't keep 3 DNs on the practice squad, which means
but they definitely had to see something in them because they traded up to get this guy.
That's what I'm saying. That's why I think it's odd. I'm like, what is going on, bro? Is somebody gonna get traded, man?
I mean, I joke all the time saying that I'm a couch commander. Like I only sit here and know what I can see and what I can read about. So
yeah. I got you. But it's something that's weird, right? Like something is amok. Is that the right term? Like
strange things are afoot at the Circle K, Dev.
Right.
What's that from?
I don't know.
Bill and Ted.
Bill and Ted.
Oh, Bill and Ted.
Come on.
All right. By the way, worst sequel ever. The last crap they released.
The third one.
Yeah.
The first 2 were okay.
One of the worst movies I've ever seen in my life.
I enjoyed it, but it was dumb.
You mean like the reunion one where they came back as old dudes?
Yeah, like dude, where's my car with old people?
Yeah, I appreciate the effort that they took.
I do not appreciate the effort.
Yeah.
Effort is coming to America too. That's effort.
Yeah. All right, 6th pick, Chris Rodriguez Jr., running back out of the University of Kentucky, 5'11", 224. I thought he was Jared Patterson 2.0. Not really sure why we took this guy. I think we could have used this.
No, man, no. Look, I'm gonna give you the perfect description of this guy right now because I watched him play a lot. Okay. Right? Look, if you need 3 yards,
he'll get 3 yards.
He'll get you. If you need 1 yard, right? If you need 1 yard, he'll get you 3. If you need 3 yards, he'll get you 3. If you need 5 yards, he'll get you 3.
He's reliable.
That's what I'm trying to tell you, man.
Like
you know
that's in the punt return game.
I think he was the best player on Kentucky's offense. No lie. I'm counting Levis. He was the best player on Kentucky's offense, man. I'm not lying to you when I say this. But like I said, 3 yards, he's getting that off top. Think P. Ryan. If you think that's what Chris Rodriguez is,
little bowling ball P. Ryan.
He's not going to escape anyone, bro. He's not going to escape. But he's going to lean on you all game, bro. I don't think he'll make the team. But I'm curious. If we can play special teams, I'm curious, man.
Well, here's the running backs on the rosters now. Alex Arma, Antonio Gibson, Jarrett Patterson, Brian Robinson, Chris Rodriguez Jr., and Jonathan Williams. Just
our Alex is gone.
Yes.
Jared Patterson may be gone.
That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
Didn't
we cut him last year too?
He runs kick returns
Practice
though.
Squad him.
Yeah.
He runs kick returns though. That's
3 running backs is all you need. And right now, Gibby, B-Rob, and Jonathan Williams are those 3 guys. I don't know how. You're right, Dev, unless he plays teams and he's really good at it.
But I'm saying, like, I don't know. I feel like somewhat maybe this offense has a fullback, bro. We don't know what kind of offense he's running. And that's when I seen him play in college, I'm thinking that dude can play in NFL.
24
but I don't think you're ever going to give him the man. I'm
Rock Cartwright was a 220-pound fullback.
Go watch his highlight tape,
he was
man.
Good too.
Go watch his highlight tape.
I will.
He's running over people, man. You know, there's no getting away. You know what I'm saying? But he's gonna lean on you for like 30 times, man. He's no joke. But I don't see it happening, you know, unless we're running fullback. They picked a lot of interior linemen. You know what I'm saying? He picked some, you know, so maybe he's planning on running it. He is a running back. The offensive coordinator played running back in the NFL. Maybe he wants to run it. Maybe that was the old coach, man, Andy Reid, that was passing all them times. It wasn't him.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, I don't know. What do you guys feel about Chris Rodriguez?
I think that, to me, I think this is an EB pick. Plus the fact that he slid because of his, you know, issues with the DUI and all that kind of stuff. So I think it was one of those things where it was kind of like how when Shanahan took Cousins in the 4th in that same draft with RG3, he was like, you fell this far, you're just too good to pass up at this point. I think that's what it was with this kind of pick. Yeah. And I really think that EB had a lot of influence on it. As it said in his description there, how he's a magnet for contact, how you guys are kicking around the ideas of him maybe being a fullback. Maybe he's not getting the rock himself. Maybe he's going in as like, you know, an extra lead blocker, something like that. You know, I'm hoping with EB coming in, we'll run some more like, you know, 2 running back sets, things like that. Like I'm a big fan of running back by committee. Kind of running game in the first place. So there's potential there. I just don't know enough, and it's all pure speculation at this point.
Yeah, that's fair. How about you, Phil?
Not the same thing. I mean, I think he's just being brought in to be a backup body, someone maybe a little more physical and bigger frame than Jarrett Patterson. That's about it. I think he'll be 3rd or 4th back.
Yeah. Well, let's roll into our last pick, Andre Jones, edge rusher out of Louisiana, UL. Did I get that right?
Lafayette, I think.
Lafayette, UL. I don't know. Versatile linebacker who plays physical style, but his power is inconsistent. They gave us a C. Who has an opinion on Andre Jones? I didn't know nothing about the dude.
I think, again, depth pick, maybe guy.
Well, you know, I think he probably is a strong side linebacker or kind of a goal line type player. I wonder. I mean, yeah, like you said, probably a camp body.
He's a run blocker. He's going to be definitely big on if he plays, he'll be used for short yardage situations, setting the edge. Very good at that. You know, you get him on the same side of the field as Chase Young, you're not running to that side.
Right.
Both of them are really good at defending the run.
Well, especially if you know, Mathis does come back healthy.
He also hits very hard from the highlight tape I saw. He hits very hard. So that's one thing.
Let's just recap real quick our transactions over time. We re-signed Reeves. Shaka Tony was suspended indefinitely for betting on NFL games.
5 games, right?
I don't know for sure.
That's another defensive end, though. Again,
it is.
Oh, Tony? No, Tony's suspended, as they say, indefinitely, but it's probably going to be the whole year.
He's probably going to appeal it and see what happens. We did not pick up Chase Young's 5th-year option. We all know that. And then they signed a bunch of dudes. Tinsley, Henderson, Allen. I don't have all the full names of these guys, but they did sign. I know Demorat is a quarterback. And then the biggest thing is they cut Chase Roulier. We talked about this earlier of Chase Roulier getting cut. So I don't know how you guys feel about Chase Roulier getting cut. What do you think?
Somebody's going to get a good player if it's healthy.
You think so?
That's the big. Someone's going to get a really good player. Like I'm talking like borderline all-pro center if he's healthy.
Yeah,
but that's the thing. You can't stay healthy, man. And I hope he does, because that's going to hurt if it works out for somebody else.
Yeah, he's a strong dude too.
I thought the cap wasn't enough to cut him, but I didn't know it was 8 points. I thought we looked it up and it was like $4 million or something, right? Oh, it's 8 over time. It's not over 1 year,
Well,
right?
for the record, Phil has been touting the June 1st, post June 1st cap or post June 1st transactions because they mean something, right? And
Right.
people have just been waiting for the post June 1st thing. So, according to Spot Track, Chase Roullier will free up $8.37 million of cap space on June 2nd, and Washington will carry his entire $12.42 million cap it into June 1st, after which they'll take dead cap hits of $4.05 million in this year and $4.05 million into next year. So they didn't want to take on that cap hit.
So he basically got a
I
$48
mean,
million.
this is a straight up money situation. Money per, per what he's been on the.
I'll
on the
tell
field
you
for.
right now. I'll tell you right now. The Commanders cutting Chase Roullier was probably one of the smarter moves that they could make. But let's talk about the NFL draft as a whole, because I saw a case where a bunch of teams did not follow my advice, and they are going to be in the shitter. Trust me on that. Ask me your questions. Go ahead, gentlemen.
And who are you, sir?
I am front office Philly. I am a draft guru and expert. I make Mel Kiper Jr. look like a slow kindergartner.
Oh, fair. Well, thank you, Mr. Front Office Philly.
You're very welcome, sir. Ask away.
I'm in shock.
What should we do? What are we going to do with Chase Young this year since we didn't pick up his 5th-year option? What's on the table?
I feel like that Chase Young was a missed opportunity. I really do. Here's what this is what they could have done with Chase Young. Chase Young could have been traded away, and you could have gotten a whole draft of picks. But do you know what they could have done with those picks? They could have traded those back and gotten more picks. And what you have to do is you keep trading back, and you trade back, and you trade back. And eventually, you have the entire 6th and 7th round of the draft all to yourself. And when you have 65 picks, you have a better chance of finding starters than you only have 6 or 7. I thank you very much.
You know, the Cardinals are doing that for next year. I think the Cardinals have like 13 or 14 picks next year, by the way. So,
and that's because the Cardinals have listened to me.
Ryan Elias says, say Affleck.
I do not give free plugs on this program.
I used to work for Affleck, bro. Nobody knows that about me. For sure.
No, I guess we do now.
I have my state and life and health insurance license, bro. No lie.
I had a friend tell me she had Affleck and she got sick and she couldn't work, and Affleck paid her a shit ton of money.
They pay you like every day you got to work in the hospital, everything, man.
That's crazy.
Speaking of people paying a shit ton of money, let's talk about the Philadelphia Eagles.
Let's talk about the Eagles, who I think, by the way, had the best draft, one of the best drafts.
It's a bunch of bullshit. I will tell you this right now, that the Philadelphia Eagles can go out here and have a draft like this because they are going to have a cap hit of about $650 million by my calculations come 2027.
$650 million, huh?
Absolutely. If they want to keep the players they have at the money they're throwing around, it's going to be a cap hit of $650 million. They are playing a game of kick the can like they are a bunch of poor farm boys in the middle of nowhere, Louisiana.
Well, let's talk about the potentially best draft in the NFL. Eagles had Jalen Carter, pick 9, A+.
I swear, I was hoping he would fly to us. I'm not gonna lie to you. I want to see the decision they had to make.
He would have been sick. Then they got Nolan Smith, who dropped to them at 30, edge rusher at the University of Georgia. So they're trying to build a Georgia wall like we got an Alabama wall.
I was going to say, are they going to change their name to the Philadelphia Bulldogs now?
I don't know. I mean, we were the Commanders for a while, so maybe they will.
It just means that their current nickname can die, Eagles die.
And then they went up.
They get Nolan Smith. He's an edge rusher, but he weighs 235 pounds.
Then they went on to get
Peter Dinklage under center.
Tyrion Lannister.
Man,
Tyler Steed out of Bama. They gave him a fat old D+.
Much like Tyrion Lannister, I drink and I know things.
Tyrion Lannister killed more people than any other Lannister, bro.
He did.
Twice his size.
Terrence says, I thought this was Paul Heyman. For the record. There you go.
Paul Heyman.
Sidney Brown, safety out of Illinois, A-. Keely Ringo, A-, quarterback out of Georgia.
That sounds like a sex position.
Keely
I don't know. Hey, you ever Keely Ringo the chick?
I once performed a Keely Ringo during a nice vacation in Thailand.
Keely Ringo, Tanner McKee, quarterback, Stanford, C-. Moro Ojomo, defensive line, Texas, also an A. Eagles had a pretty good draft. That's all I can say.
I think I drank that Moro Ojono when I was in Thailand as well.
Front office Philly. Anybody else have any questions for front office Philly?
Any questions? I would like to answer them. Thank you for opening up the forum, Stephen.
Fire away.
What do gay horses eat? Hey. Didn't know that one, did you?
I was going to say another horse's ass, but I figured that was a little too risque.
What happened? That was a better answer, by the way.
Oh man, where have we gone?
I don't know.
All right, Philly. So if you want to keep trading back and all that kind of stuff, what is the earliest round you think someone should draft in?
Well, unfortunately, the 9th through 12th rounds no longer exist. So you're going to have to stick with the 6th or 7th round. But if you find someone who is a stubborn partner, late 5th will do.
All right.
Hey, by the way, Terrence, man. Terrence, what's going on with the 76ers, man? They gave this dude the MVP trophy before the game. They getting spanked.
They should have rested him in game 2.
They are getting spanked.
Should have rested him in game 2. Joel Embiid should have rested him. Knee injury, excuse me. Should have rested him in game 2. I
don't like this Joel Embiid guy. I think they should have kept Ben Simmons and posted him up behind the 3-point arc.
By far the worst take anyone has ever said in their life. By far the worst.
Front office Philly. Let's talk about how our DC Defenders are in the XFL Championship next Saturday, May 13th, against the Arlington Renegades for the XFL Championship.
Hey, anytime we get to beat up on a Dallas team is a good day.
I think this is tremendous news. It is great for the city of DC to finally have a potential champion in the sport of football. However, what's even better is that we get to do it while fans of the St. Louis Battlehawks get to sit at home because call is not the law. I will tell you this right now about the St. Louis Battlehawks. Somebody needs to educate them that just because you can fit 35,000 people in a 70,000 seat stadium does not make you the best team in football. You actually have to win games on the field. Pew! Now, the best thing about St. Louis is leaving. They are a third-place team complaining they should have been in the playoffs. They won the bronze medal in the division, just like St. Louis is the bronze medal city of Missouri, behind Kansas City and Branson.
Not Branson.
Missouri? Branson, Missouri?
I would much rather go to Branson, Missouri and go see some of those legendary country artists than sit in the stinking piss hole that is St. Louis, Missouri.
I mean, let's be honest here. Other than, as far as sports goes, other than, the Cardinals out there, what else is there to do in St. Louis?
I don't know. I have a kid in East St. Louis, which is on the Illinois side, but
I've been to the Arch. Mississippi stinks. Smells so bad.
I have a kid that lives in St. Louis, man, and I think the zoo is awesome.
St. Louis has the Blues, but they used to have the Browns, and I think that's a much more appropriate color for the city of St. Louis is the Browns.
How many teams have left St. Louis now?
Oof. That's 2 Browns and Rams. There's 2 right there for you.
Cardinals.
And the Cardinals,
the Browns,
were originally
the Rams,
the Blues.
The Blues never left.
Yes.
They once had a
oops,
basketball
my
team.
bad.
They left too.
No.
I mean, here's the whole thing. Like, I love the XFL. I'm glad in general that it's getting at least a decent reception. And like, I gave like Battlehawks fans props all season long for showing up and showing out. That's amazing to see and everything like that. I hope other teams can start to get it. But I mean, at the same time, like compared to like something to Audi Field, which is like 20,000 people at max. They don't even open the whole stadium up for the football games, and the fact that they had between 10 and 18,000 people for every game is pretty damn good.
Pretty awesome. I think a switch has flipped in the DC area for the XFL and the Defenders, and it's only going up from here. I cannot wait. It's exciting.
I mean, and the football overall has been good. Like even teams like the Guardians, who
somebody has to win in DC for football, right?
But even though the Guardians only won the one game, and against us, they still played hard like every single game.
Yeah.
I only hope that I get a chance when I charter my private jet to go watch the XFL championship that one Dwayne Johnson invites me to his booth so we could share a nice bottle of Terramana tequila, which is his brand of tequila, right there as we watch the game. And I can give advice on his next future business endeavors as well.
I guarantee The Rock is pulling for Arlington.
You think so?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I hope not.
Nah.
He might. I don't know. His tweet for DC was pretty cool.
They're the team. They're the team that opened the season this year, and of course, he showed up there in Arlington jersey. He didn't show up with a jersey, to the DC game home opener. And the fact that I forgot what was. And then you got, even though it's a different team, San Antonio, the Brahmas were kind of like named after him in a way.
Yeah.
So that whole Texas connection. I mean, that's where the headquarters for the league is too. So
that's right. It is in Arlington, Texas, and they have a weird rotation of how they play their games too. Like they're all based out of there, and they just travel.
Yeah.
To these different.
Yeah, it's the same thing with the USFL. Even though all their teams have all these different cities' names, they play in two stadiums in Alabama, and they're headquartered in Birmingham, and Birmingham is also the best team and won their inaugural championship. Little sussy there.
Yeah, just a little bit. But our Defenders are playing in the XFL Championship next Saturday. It's gonna be pretty nice. Ryan says that Nipsey in the background.
No, man, this some AR art I did in Mid-Journey. So this is a one of one, bro. You're not gonna see this anywhere else.
One of one. Oh, Deshaun Jackson lingo there.
Yeah.
Remember he used to say one of one all the time. Remember
one of one. It means none before, none to come.
You guys have any predictions as far as what numbers are going to be for some of the rookies? I know Forbes is still going to be 13, right?
I think so. Didn't they already announce some of those jersey numbers? I think they announced some of the jersey numbers for the.
I might have missed that. The only one that I've seen was the Forbes one.
I thought. Oh, here we go.
I believe that the Atlanta Falcons will give Taylor Heineke 0-0 for his absolute value.
Man, Taylor catching strays. Just catching strays. He's not even part of this group when he's catching stray bullets. Oh, man. All right. Yeah,
they went out today.
Here we go. They did come out today.
There's Forbes. Right.
Forbes Jr. got 13. Here we go. Next up, Martin, number 20. I think he took Bobby McCain's number. Seems like it.
He took his roster spot and his number. I like it. It's ruthless.
Did he take his girl too while he was at it? Damn.
Nah, that was Milne.
You know what's great about these number announcements too? Them having them on the good burgundy jerseys.
While we're on the subject though, Jam, everybody wants to be. I would love to get a DC Defenders jersey. By the way, of the team that's going to win it all, of our favorite team.
You can't get one.
Yeah, what kind of bullshit is this?
Yeah,
man?
the merchandising for the whole league is really bad.
They did bad on that one. They assumed risk.
I think it was one of those things where they were like, let's wait and see.
Yeah,
like
it'll be good next year. It'll be good next year. I just
They
want
need
a
a-
replica
I hope
jersey.
they go with I want them to get like a Gucci or somebody to do it too. I don't want them to get like a regular. Get somebody crazy like Balenciaga to do y'all's jerseys, bro.
I just
That would
want
be dope.
I want
ain't
a
gonna lie to
jersey.
you.
I want a Greg
That would be
Williams
dope.
jersey. I want a Greg Williams jersey. I know he's a player. I mean, excuse me, he's a coach, but I want a Greg Williams jersey because he should have been the head coach of the Redskins.
I'm gonna guess it's gonna be whatever company that like Disney has some kind of ties to.
Yeah, probably. Stromberg's going to be 53. The Daniels 79. KJ Henry 55. Oh, wasn't that Cole Holcomb's number? Wasn't that Cole's number?
I thought-
don't remember.
Definitely was.
Yeah. Rodriguez 23.
Interesting.
Jones Jr., Andre Jones Jr., 48. If you remember Chris Horton, who also played 48 back in the day.
I only associate that number with Stephen Davis. Thank you very much.
Stephen Davis. That's right. Who also got beat down by Michael Westbrook, if I'm not mistaken.
Your memory's probably better than mine.
Front office Philly, is that correct? Was that Stephen Davis?
Preseason, 1998.
There
I have
we go.
video.
There we go. Yeah, Terrence said the Eagles gave out jersey numbers today too. So everyone's giving out their rookie jersey numbers today, it seems. So we are on par and on board with everybody else.
By the way, what was it with the Texans trading up in the first round?
They made moves. They went 2-3, right?
That entire draft was weird.
Why would they not trade back and get all the 6th and 7th round picks? Trading up is for incels. Why would they do that?
People are giving them their props because they got the number 2 quarterback and the number 1 defensive player in the NFL draft. So
who gave them props? That hack Todd McShay.
Yeah, I think of him and amongst everyone else too. CJ Stroud, Will Anderson. They got your boy Juice Scruggs out of Penn State. Nathan Dell.
That's a good one. It's unfortunate, but notice he got picked later in the draft. Their best pick later in the draft. I tell you, this strategy works.
2nd round. I tell you, everything. All right, it's 1 hour and 17
Oh my God,
minutes.
Miss Swan.
I tell you everything. I tell you everything. That was I haven't seen that shit in a long time. Did you know there is a cornerback who plays for Alabama named Kool-Aid McGinty? You know the first thing I thought of when I heard that name, Kool-Aid McGinty, Dev? Just guess.
Kool-Aid.
Not your Kool-Aid, but it reminded me of the Key and Peele skit.
With all the football player names.
Oh yeah, LaQuavius Jack.
Man, that's man. I'm gonna have to rewatch that skit now. I remember that being so funny.
Kool-Aid McGinty.
You know, I haven't seen a lot of Key and Peele. I didn't really watch a lot of Key and Peele, man. But that one I remember, man. That's just hilarious, man. Hey man, your 76 is terrible, bro.
What's the score now?
It's 97-89 Boston.
Oh man, it's 1-1, right?
Yeah.
Speaking about basketball,
they're playing in Philly too.
Speaking of basketball, Rui's still lighting it up off the bench.
Who is?
Rui Hachimura for the Lakers.
Yeah, Rui's killing it, man.
He's outscoring like the rest of the bench by himself.
Man, I referenced Rui in my song, man. He played for the Wizards when I wrote it, and now he plays for the Lakers. It makes my song sound dated. It pisses me off.
Thank you, Tommy Shepard. The gift that keeps on giving. Front office Philly. What do you feel about Tommy Shepard destroying the Wizards?
Tommy Shepard, I can't even fake this one. He's a moron.
Yeah. When Rui dropped 29 a game, first series, I was like, man.
He dropped 21 the other night.
I go get both.
Tommy
I think he's averaging something like 14 to the playoffs.
In the first round.
I'd go get Coach Buzz if I was y'all.
For GM? Well,
for
I'm tired of the West
head
Unseld
coach.
experiment. I'm good
For
with
head
it.
coach, go
I'm
get
good.
Buds, man. Go get Buds.
West Unseld, thank you. Your father was great. We appreciate your service, but it's time to move on.
I don't even know how long I've been saying it. I know it's been a few years now, but the Wizards, we're basically an extra farm team for the West. That's what we are right now.
Yeah, they just move people around.
My Knicks are looking good. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
Knicks.
I didn't think they were going to make it either way.
Knicks.
All right, we're going to shut this one down. We went a little long, but it's Friday night. Why not? Yeah, it's Saturday morning where you are.
So I got the rest of the day just to do whatever.
Chill out. Oh, that works out pretty good then, man. That works out pretty good.
This was going to be good timing when you messaged me the other day.
Yeah, that's awesome. Well, we want to thank you for joining us, and thank you for everyone who jumped in the chat to kick it with us. We had Terrence, Ryan, Tony, Corey from On the Warpath. Please go make sure you go sub up to his channel.
And speaking of Drop That Beat, definitely go check out Dev's Spotify channel. You got some good stuff on there.
That's right. And
my God.
Make sure you
MB just stepped on Williams' back of his head. His head hit the ground.
Oh,
it's the gross thing ever, man.
And make sure you go check out. I posted Yam's Twitter link in the YouTube description. Also, his link to his podcast will also be in the YouTube description as well. It's already pre-posted. As soon as this video ends, you'll see it.
Oh, thank you, sir. Appreciate it.
Yes,
thanks.
Absolutely. Let's give you a chance to plug your podcast, Yam. So go ahead.
So I'm part of a podcasting group called Get a Life podcast group. I mostly do the anime show. It's called Kunai. You know, kunai weapon, like from Naruto, ninja throwing weapon. We also started a comic book related one called Super Zero, which I was on our kind of inaugural episode for that, kind of kicking that off. But there's a gaming podcast that I don't do. There's a food one. It's a whole podcasting group, but the main one is the anime and the gaming one. So yeah, just if you go to getalifepodcast.com/kunai, it's there. You can also just search for Kunai or Get a Life Podcast on like Spotify. GAL is what the abbreviation is, just GAL. So yeah, we're all over on there. As far as on Twitter, I have no filter. I talk about anything and everything on there, mostly anime,
like this podcast.
But mostly starting fights with people.
I bet you never thought you'd wake up today and talk about Jesus Christ getting his ass whooped for 3 hours in a Mel Gibson movie, though, did you?
Nope. Come on and talk about football, and that's how things start. I'm like, all right, this is where we're going.
Yep. Pretty much. Thank you, Yam, for taking the time out of your day. I know you're on the other side of the world for joining us. Really appreciate
you inviting me, man.
Yeah, for sure. Fellas, Phil, any shout outs?
Shout out to Yam for coming out. Shout out to Tequila for burning my throat right after I did that voice for about a solid 10 minutes.
Right. Shout out to Front Office Phil, man.
Shout out Front Office Phil. Front Office Philly.
Keely Ringo.
Hey, we have a whole off season of actions to talk about with this team in Front Office Philly. So I'm dying to hear about Front Office Philly when we make these moves to see, how he feels about it. Corey says he's good. Yes,
you
sir.
Can't really say that after Keely Ringo has been done.
No. Keely Ringo.
I'll have to look that up afterwards.
Tell my girlfriend
was talking about.
Yeah. Ryan. Ryan. He says one more shot. One more shot. Well, it's Friday. I will do a very small one because it is Friday and it is Cinco de Mayo. Right? Cheers.
Good stuff.
Yeah.
Hey man, if I wake up in the morning and all
meanwhile, I've been over. I mean, it's gone now, but I've been drinking Kool-Aid. So
hey, I have too. I got Kool-Aid. That's why I'm drinking in here, little packages, man.
Yeah, respect you guys. I'm
if
not.
If I wake up in the morning, all my little Mexican friends are picketing because we're doing this podcast.
Hey, we diversify. We love everyone on this show. That's right. That's what we do.
We love them and hate them all at the same time.
That's right. Any shout outs? Dev, Phil, shout outs. Any shout outs?
Shout out to Tacos for existing. Number one.
I had tacos tonight.
Oh man,
yeah, tacos tonight for Cinco de Mayo.
Tacos are legit.
One of the songs that I do with my kids in school that they love is the "It's Raining Tacos" song. They think it's hilarious.
I would like to hear that, Yam. Would you mind doing that in a C minor, please?
No, I can't sing worth of poop. I put the video on and we sing along with it.
Cheese and meat. It's raining tacos. Yes.
I feel like this is both my nightmare and my wildest dream happening at the same time. It's like those nightmares you have with the people.
I can't remember his name, but you know the dude that actually wrote that song? He was actually the guitarist in a punk band.
He has a whole YouTube channel of writing kid songs like that.
Yeah, he has all kinds of kids.
Dude,
Yeah.
we're in the wrong business. I can write all kinds of kid songs, man.
Yeah.
I was
Do you know?
Do it.
Raining tacos.
Do you
Oh my
know that the
God.
guy who is the lead singer of Devo wrote all those themes for the
For like Nicktoons. Yeah.
all you gotta
Like the
do is say
Rugrats
fart.
one?
All you gotta
Rugrats
do is say
theme,
fart a bunch of times.
Rocket Power,
Play with a
all that
toy.
stuff. That's Mark Mothersbaugh from
Hey,
Devo.
come here.
Oh,
This is
man.
my daughter. This is my oldest right here. Look how old she is. Old.
What's up, girl?
Stop.
What's up?
I love you. She's old, guys.
She's
20
old.
24
Speaking
soon.
of old, speaking of
4th of
old,
July.
shout out to my son. He goes to his senior prom tomorrow.
Whoa.
Nice. Very nice.
Senior.
Himself a tennis team girl. He went outside the box a little bit, but he actually, their last day of school is a week from today, and then his graduation's on the 20th.
Wow.
IU, my alma mater, had all their graduation ceremonies today. It's kind of funny. The graduation ceremonies on Cinco de Mayo.
Oh yeah, for colleges it's always earlier, but like the fact that his last day of school is May 12th, and I remember going to school till June 11th. Same
Yeah.
same school district, but they started school like August 6th this past year.
Yeah, we get out in we did a year-round school, so we had a very long summer. We had a really long summer. We didn't go back till like September. Yeah, we got out in like May. So
yeah, our school year here ends like March like 15th, 17th in that range, and then we go right back to the school around like April 9th, 10th.
You're a teacher, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, shout out to
what do you
man.
teach?
Shout out to you, yeah.
I'm what is called an ESL teacher, English as a second language. So I teach English to Japanese junior high school kids.
That sucks.
I imagine that's got to be an
I
interesting.
was messing with you, though.
It has its ups and downs.
Culturally, because
I
love
I taught in America too, so anywhere you go,
that's got to be way worse. That's got to be way worse.
Because here's the thing I like about Japanese culture. They run this weird dichotomy of being very ultra conservative about certain things, and then ultra open and liberal. And I'm talking about in a social sense, not a political sense, but ultra liberal about other things, right? And I imagine that creates a very unique kind of mindset in kids around that junior high age when everything starts to kind of come into focus as far as the broader world. You start to see things a little more.
I'm sure Japanese puberty is way easier than American puberty. Dealing with that shit, I don't know.
Japanese puberty may involve seeing tentacles, but anyway.
Ryan, hey, shout out to my little guy making the under-9 soccer travel team, and not a shout out
on today's episode of That's Racist. Oh shit!
Yes. Shout out to your little guy. My little guy tried out for the under-8 travel team. Don't know yet. I don't think he's gonna make it, but he tried out.
My daughter is trying out for the Arizona Cardinals NFL.
How's that come? How's that going?
That is next week. She is in the finals, man. We'll see how it goes.
Awesome. That's great.
Still not going to be an Arizona Cardinals fan, but hey, I just joke.
Have her take a picture next to Kyler Murray just so we can see how short he's
She's
really
probably way taller than him.
Man, she's 6
I was going to say, I bet you that's one of the reasons too, because them giving Kyler Murray all this money. It's probably why they're lining up all these future draft picks so they can kick out their expensive guys and draft young guys.
Yeah,
the one y'all just saw is right at 6 foot, and this one's taller. So we'll see. I had a sister that was 6'5".
Look, Dev is 6'3" in his Balenciagas and David the Gnome t-shirt.
Hey, by the way, my sister is going to Japan in October. She's in the Navy.
It's a good time of the year to come.
Yeah, she's in the Navy, so I don't know how fun it'll be. It'll be her second time.
Fall is a really good time to come here. Just don't go to Kyoto in the fall because it's actually one of the more Kyoto in fall and winter are like the most popular times to go there. But anywhere else, be fine.
Nice.
Yeah, she liked it. She I would feel like I'd be bored, but she didn't like the food, but she liked it.
How could you not like the food? Gotta diversify her palate there.
It's so funny. Like
You won't eat
sometimes
anything
I'll
with
go.
noodles.
Sometimes I'll go places I don't even know what it is I'm eating, but it's delicious.
She won't eat any, she don't want to eat it. She comes back to the US, she won't eat anything with noodles. At all. She like refuses. I will not eat anything with noodles.
It's funny because people always hear about noodles. I mean, yeah, there's udon and ramen and soba and somen and all that type of stuff. But really, the main thing here is obviously rice. Rice with everything.
Yeah, she won't eat that either. Over here, she will not eat it.
That's how I was raised. We had pizza with rice growing up.
What?
Oh, you get stuff
every
no,
meal.
and that's where they eat like catfish with spaghetti. Like those are things that go together.
You can go to Japan and get yourself a pizza with mayonnaise and peas on it.
Some of the pizza combinations here are kind of crazy. My one complaint with pizza in Japan, there's not enough cheese. They go like super light on the cheese, and almost all the pizzas here have corn on them for some reason.
Ryan says, wait, Yam is in Japan?
His name has been Yam in Japan the entire time.
Yeah.
Says, I'm taking a shot to that. Thank you for teaching the young. He said, thank you for teaching the young.
That is pretty
good
cool.
rebound. Good rebound that one, Ryan.
Good rebound. We've called him Yam in Japan for I don't know, ever since we met him.
I mean, that's what my channel was, but I've kind of like I change my name every now.
But you're coming back to the States here pretty soon, right?
More than likely, it's like a 75% chance that I'll be moving back to Virginia at least for a little while. Probably next April.
Okay. Well, yeah. Well, if you do come back, man, hopefully we'll have to get up and go attend a game at FedEx Field.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
I already been talking with the beard.
FedEx.
The beard with Authentic and the Beard. I've messaged him a couple times about going thrifting with him for fun. So
great guys. Yeah. All right, we're gonna shut this one down. We went way long, but this was fun. This is what happens when you're talking cool things with great people. Thank you for coming to join us, Yam. We appreciate it. As always, thank you for tuning in. Please go like and subscribe to the YouTube channel. We're available on anywhere you can find your audio podcast. Just search for Command This, and we are there. Please go check out Yam's Twitter and his podcast. It'll be located down in the YouTube description.
I've got also on my Twitter profile, there's a direct link to our podcast right on my profile too.
And that's where I got it from.
76ers should have ever traded Thibault, man.
Traded who?
Thibault, the guy who just plays defense.
Oh, I don't know.
Martise Thibault played.
Let's go watch some NBA. All right, we will be back next Thursday. Thank you for tuning in. We'll see what happens between now and then. Probably not a whole lot. I think there's some OTAs happening. I don't think there's much happening for a while. So I don't know. We'll see. As always, we appreciate you. Peace and hail. We're out.